There are a lot of dinosaur games. Some are park builders, some are survival, and some are complete trash. So join me in this chill video as we rank every major dinosaur game title in recent years. So before we start, I hope you guys are all having a great day. I hope you like this little chill little video. Just thought it might be exciting for you guys just to have a break from all the drama and other stuff, you know? So yeah, just sit back, relax, grab some snacks or something, and enjoy. So obviously we're going to start off here with Path of Titans. Path is an interesting game for me. What they have is quite good, but it's not really the game that I wanted it to be. And there's nothing wrong with that inherently, so I'm going to rank this in a way that would be fair to the game instead of just my personal bias on it. So I think Path of Titans is a very high quality game for being an indie game, especially in the dinosaur survival niche, because God, we know how that goes most of the time. So Path of Titans, just based off of quality of the models, the animation, everything like that, it's good. It's not great, but it's good. Then we have things like the gameplay, which are pretty good in my opinion. I think there are some holes here and there, but nothing that they can't fix. I think right now the most fair spot for Path of Titans is a good game. I think its potential, I'm going to rank these based on what they like, how they are right now, and I'm going to rank it based on what I think its potential is. I think its potential isn't much greater than what it is right now, but it is obviously still potential. So I don't think it will ever quite be great, but I do think it is very solidly good. Next up, we have the Isle. This is Legacy, not Evrima. We're doing that next. So Legacy obviously is loved by many, probably by a lot more people than Evrima is, and that's for a lot of reasons. The atmosphere is really good. Just the way the game looks is quite nice. It's pretty well optimized for what it is as well. And it's a lot of fun for a lot of people. Personally, I think Evrima is better, but a lot of people would disagree with me on that one. So I'm going to put Legacy Isle in decent. I think its potential, honestly, it could be great, you know? But they stopped there, so for what it is, I think it's decent. Next up, we have Evrima. Now, I think Evrima is pretty good. I enjoy it. The new update with Dibble and mutations is super cool. I think Evrima is dripping with potential. I don't think it's the best game right now. I think right now it's mediocre. Performance is pretty bad across the board. Lots of lag, lots of hacking issues right now. There's a lot of issues with the game, and it's hard to ignore them when you're just playing day to day. But it's very clear that the devs have a clear vision of what the future of the game's going to look like, and I think it'd be very hard to say that it isn't looking great. So I think its potential is absolutely up here. Next up, we have Saurian. Saurian is an unfortunate case of too many plans, too much ambition, and not enough of anything else. So Saurian, just based off its premise, is super cool. They wanted a hyper-realistic dinosaur survival experience set in the Hell Creek Formation during the late Cretaceous period. So that has a lot of very popular dinosaurs like Triceratops, T-Rex, and Ankylosaurus, you name it. It also had a lot of cool plans in terms of the gameplay. It was different from the other survival games, I'll make that very clear. It was a single-player oriented game, so all the experiences you'd have would be against AI, and it would kind of evolve from that. So I think that as a concept is really cool. It could be very immersive. I think the game right now is at best mediocre, but pushing into bad territory, because there's just simply nothing to do. I think its potential, I would say a few years ago, would be good, but it's kind of looking like it's not really going to go anywhere, at least right now. So I think the best it could do is decent. But right now, Saurian, unfortunately, is just not that great, and I would not recommend getting it. Next we have Beasts of Bermuda. This is a favorite for a lot of people. I can't really think of anyone who hates Beasts of Bermuda or really has too many negative feelings of it. It's a very silly game, but it's not trying to be anything else. It's just a game that gives you options to do anything. You can make your dinosaur look like a lollipop. You can jump 18 million feet into the air. You can sprint faster than the Flash. There's a lot of goofiness going on, and I'm here for it. I think Beasts of Bermuda is a good game. Is it great? Does it have potential to be great? I don't think so, because the dev team is just quite small, and I don't think they really have the resources to become a great game, but it is good, and it deserves that spot, so I'm going to keep it there. Next up, we have Ark. Ark is a strange game because although it was a pioneer in its kind of genre, honestly in the dinosaur genre in general, it's kind of lost its fan base over time due to a lot of drama with the second game coming out and just a lot of really scummy decision making on their part. For example, recently they announced the Firemane, which is going to be a DLC creature, but it's going to be allowed into normal servers, which is pay to win, which I don't like. And although there is a rather similar equivalent in game for everyone to play as, like tame and stuff, it still sets a bad precedent in my eyes. So even though it's not a terrible move, because it's more of a reskin than anything else, it still sets a bad precedent. I don't like that, and a lot of people don't like that. So I think Ark for me is honestly mediocre. I've never enjoyed it that much. I think the game has a lot of things that you can do, but it's held back by a very toxic community, first of all. A lot of annoying bugs that usually aren't a huge deal, but because it takes so much effort and there's so much risk with the game, every issue that you come across really matters. So that kind of brings it down for me. However, there is modding support. The mods are great, lots of mods, and I think just for that, I'd have to push it up to decent. I think Ark 2, which is probably the one we want to talk about when it comes to potential, could be a fantastic game. But it's not looking like we're going to get Ark 2 anytime soon, and we might not ever get it at this point. It's really up in the air. It's a very strange topic, and I don't think anyone really knows what's going on with it anymore, so it's going to stay indecent for right now. Next up, we have my beloved Primal Carnage Extinction. It doesn't look that great, it doesn't run that great, it's got a lot of bugs, and there's just not that many things you can do. There's not that many people that play it, and it's a fantastic game. I love it. I love Primal Carnage. It is so much fun to just whip out the game and just play it. It's so unserious. The community is so lovely. There's so many customization options and skins you can buy. It's a lot of fun to do that as well and collect different things for free, of course. And Primal Carnage is just a good time. And although it's on a technicality isn't the best game, it's probably more hovering down here. For me, it is a fantastic game. It entertains me, and that's all I can ask of it, to be honest. So yeah, Primal Carnage is a great game for me. Prehistoric Kingdom. It's good. A lot of people love Prehistoric Kingdom. The models are great, animations are great, the building aspects are really good. But for me personally, the issue I have with the game is the UI. I don't know what it is with Prehistoric Kingdom and Planet Zoo and all those games, but I just cannot stand the way that the controls are on PC. I really can't. It takes so much getting used to, and even when you do, it's still annoying. So that drags it down for me, personally, but it would be very hard to deny that Prehistoric Kingdom is a good game. It is a good game. And I think it has potential to be a great game, with just more updates. The updates the game has, even though they come slowly and they aren't that substantial, they are very good, they're of high quality. So I think just with time, Prehistoric Kingdom can become a really great game. Next we have Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. This brings back a lot of memories for a lot of people. It was a pioneer in the genre. It brought a lot of attention to park builders, especially with dinosaurs, of course. And it was a very well-made game for the time. It would be hard to say that it holds up now, because it just doesn't. You'd be lying to yourself if you said it was. But it's still good for what it is. So I'd say Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, even though it's held back by the times, it's a decent game. Its potential obviously is kind of hard to do because it's just so old. But obviously, as you can see with the more recent versions of the game, the potential is quite high. Next we have Jurassic World Evolution 1. It was okay. It gave you really good graphics, the best we could probably ever get at the time. You got a whole lot of dinosaurs, a lot of cool animations, but you could really tell that the AI was held back a lot. The building was kind of stupid. Like, there are so many restrictions, restraints. It doesn't really feel like a park builder. It feels more like a park manager, where every so often you get to decide where you put a building or two. But other than that, it just doesn't feel like a park builder to me, and I think a lot of people felt the same way. So I thought Jurassic Park Evolution was pretty mediocre. However, there are mods. The mods bring it up a little bit, I think, into decent. But it's very clear that the second game is better, so that's what we're going to get to next. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is a better game than Jurassic World Evolution 1. Do not get Jurassic World Evolution 1, I don't know why you would. Get Jurassic World Evolution 2. I think this is a much better game. It gives you a lot of the same, while also improving on a lot of the issues that were known with the first game. I really think the devs learned from it a lot, and gave us a much better product as a result, which is lovely. Now, it's not a perfect game. I would put Jurassic Park Evolution 2 in decent. And the reason for that is because the AI is still kind of limited. It is much, much better, but it's kind of held up by gimmicks. You get one social animation, you get a few different kill animations, but that's really it. And in terms of the building aspects, it's infinitely better than the first game, infinitely, but it still has some issues. The aquatic areas are very hard to decorate. There's really not a whole lot you can do with them. There's still a lot of restrictions just overall with how you build in the game, and a lot of people kind of get by on glitches. There's a lot of popular YouTubers who only really make the things that they do because of exploits that they found within the game, not because of what the game is actually supposed to give you. And I think that's an issue. Of course, there are mods for the second game. They're very high quality for the most part, and it adds a lot. But it's just, for me, even though the potential is really there for it to be a great game, with just a few tweaks here and there, unfortunately, we're getting our final update soon, unless we've already gotten it, I can't quite remember. So it's looking like there won't be any theory crafting for that. So we might have to wait for the third installment if that comes up. So right now it's indecent, and that's where it's going to stay. Next up, we have one of my favorite games of all time, Jurassic Park Builder. Now, you can't play this game anymore, which is so sad, but it was a truly lovely experience to play this game. Was it great? No. It was held back a little bit by the times, of course. It's a very old game at this point, and it's on mobile, so it's held back by a lot. But, given all those issues, the game is great. The fighting is super fun and rewarding. There's so many different things that you can get in the game. The customization is obviously not super great, it's a mobile game, but it's still there. They still gave it a good shot. And I think it's just the atmosphere of the game that is built up so well. And just the way that the UI works, all the sound design, all the animations, just everything fits together so well. And it really feels like you're building a Jurassic Park. And it's great. It's a lot of fun. Very unfortunate that it's gone. The final update they did was add a $50 DLC of an Indominus Rex, which was absolutely a scam because they shut the game down like half a year later. Truly an awful way to go out. But when it was alive and well, Jurassic Park Builder was a fantastic game, and it was a big part of my childhood. Next up, we have the successor to Jurassic Park Builder, Jurassic World, the game. It's pretty good. I would say it is definitely kind of entering the realm of microtransaction hell, and that's not really a fault of the game. It's free. You can do a lot without paying any money at all, but some of the later content in the game, like the hybrids and super hybrids, are almost impossible to get without spending money or waiting an absurd amount of time. So that drags it down for me a bit. But the game also improved on a lot of the issues with Jurassic Park Builder and just kind of expanded on a lot of things, and I think it did that well. I think Jurassic World the game is a little too hated, honestly, but I think overall it's good. I have a lot of fun with it. I don't really play it anymore, but when I did, I enjoyed it almost as much as I enjoyed Jurassic Park Builder. And I think there's also a bit of nostalgia with that, where it just can't really beat the first game for me, but it's still a good product overall, I think. Lastly, actually, I was going to say last but not least, but last but definitely least, is Jurassic World Alive. I hate this game. I hate it so much. It is basically just a dinosaur equivalent of Pokemon Go, but instead of being able to have fun with the game, you have to spend $10 about every hour to be able to accomplish anything. There are maybe 5 species in a 10-mile area that you can actually catch. It'll have all these crazy looking ones on the board, but of course you have to spend money to get those. In order to upgrade your dinosaurs to fight with them, by the way, the fighting is super lame, but in order to do that you also have to spend money because people are way too competitive in games like this. Jurassic World Alive is just a bad game. It's not fun. You have to spend way too much money on it, and just compared to Jurassic Park Builder and Jurassic World the game, you get a far inferior product overall, and I can't sugarcoat that. I really can't. Bad game, don't get it. Get Jurassic World the game instead. It's a lot more fun, and you can do basically the same things with it, obviously without the Pokemon Go thing, but who cares? So yeah, that's kind of it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day, and before you go, I just want to say I am fighting Half Sliced to 3,000 subscribers. Whoever wins, actually, I don't know what Half Slice is going to do if he wins, but if I win, I am going to say every single dinosaur name that exists. So there's more than 700 of those, and if I mispronounce a singular name, I have to restart the list. It's that simple. It will be live streamed if I win, so subscribe for that to put me through that pain. So yeah, I hope I can win so that I can give you that very exciting piece of content. And anyways, I hope you had a nice relaxing little time with me here ranking these games, and I will catch you all next time. Have a good day, bro.